Hello, my name is Alejandra Landano and welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel, you find lots of videos specifically about teaching and working online from home. In today's video, I'm going to share some tips with you when creating an Outschool class. Now, before I do so, if you are new here, I would so much appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. That small action helps my channel grow. If you are already subscribed, thank you. Now, as I said, today's video is about Outschool. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I do have an Outschool video created already on my channel, and that just gives you some basic information about this wonderful company. As I already said, today's video is going to include 5 tips when creating or for creating an Outschool class. So let's get started. Tip number 1 when creating a good Outschool class is to pick a specific topic. Now this may be a little obvious, but I've noticed my classes do a lot better when I have a very specific learning objective. And let me kind of give you some examples. So I could have a class all about animals. Yes, that's awesome. But how would I be even more specific? Let's say I want my whole class to be about pigs. That's something very specific. So the student would leave my class hopefully learning something new about pigs. Let's look at another example. Let's say previously, or I still am, a 3rd grade math teacher. Now, I don't want a class all about 3rd grade math. Let's pick some specific skills. Let's say a class about multiplication, maybe multiplication strategies, how to divide 2-digit numbers, how to add fractions. Do you see how those learning objectives are very specific? So when creating an Outschool class, I've noticed picking a very specific topic for your class is very beneficial. Tip number 2 is to create a detailed plan. Now, if you're already an Outschool teacher, you know that Outschool does not require a formal lesson plan like a brick and mortar teacher, but they do like a outline of what you're going to do in the class, what the students are going to learn, learning objectives, all that kind of stuff. Now, I suggest you be as specific as possible, especially in that learning goal area and that class experience area. In that class experience area, I always like to include my learning objectives. So if I'm going back to my pig or math example, in this class, students will learn about pigs, being very specific. I also like to share the style of the class. Is this a lecture class? Is the teacher doing more of the talking? Is this a discussion class? Is this an interactive class? What kind of class is that? Is it? Include that in your class experience, in your description. I may also include the activities that I'm going to do in the class. Are we going to draw a picture together? Are we going to cut and paste certain things? Are we going to create something? And I might even include things like what the student should already know. So for example, if I'm creating a CVC class, in that CVC class, the student should already know their foundational skills, which could be letters and sounds. So letting the student know kind of what you expect from the student coming in. So just be as specific as you can in your lesson outline or your class listing for Outschool. Tip number 3 is to have a catchy title with key words. Now, when parents are looking on Outschool, they will usually type in a few words. Let's say they want their student to learn about gravity. They might type in the word gravity. When they type that in and hit enter, a list of classes will appear. The parent will see a thumbnail, a title, and 1 or 2 sentences about that class. In the title, or in that brief, very brief sentence, you want to make sure you include some key words. So if your class is about gravity, either in that title or in that short description, or possibly both, include the word gravity. And there are so many different ways to create titles. You can do like Quick Guide to Gravity, Gravity 101, What No One Tells You About Gravity. You can include Up and Down, What's Gravity? Like, come up with a cool title. I'm honestly still working on that because I'm not very creative in that aspect. But come up with a catchy title and make sure you include keywords either in that title or, like I said, in that small description. Tip number 4 is eye-catching thumbnails. And this one I have to thank to my referring teacher because this is something I was struggling with. And I think it makes a huge difference. Now, when I create my thumbnails, I use Canva, and I do plan later on just showing a quick video of how I use Canva to create thumbnails. But there are 2 things I try to include in my thumbnails. I try to make sure my thumbnail is very bright and it has many different colors, kind of screaming, look at me, look at me. And then most of the time, I like to have my face somewhere on there. So super catchy, bright colors, and me. Here are some examples of before and after thumbnails. Tip number 5 is to create sequence classes. And this is so important because when a student comes to your class, and they like your teaching style, they may want to book a similar class again. And I've had this happen a handful of times, and it makes you very excited as a teacher. But you do need to create courses that are a little similar. For example, if you enjoy painting, maybe you can have many different classes about painting. Painting a lion, painting a zebra, painting a cat, painting a mouse. Or if you love teaching math, you can have different math sections. A math all about multiplication, all about division, all about how to add 3-digit numbers, all about fractions. So you see how there's a sequence, they're in a similar topic. And again, if a parent and student like your teaching style, they're more likely to book more classes with you, especially if you have a sequence. Those are my 5 tips when creating Outschool classes. When I first started with Outschool, I was applying to maybe one of these tips, and I got a little discouraged, honestly, because my classes were not booking right away. Once my referring teacher helped me and shared so many useful tips, and I improved my classes, I started seeing more learners. So these tips definitely work. And if you are new to Outschool or if you're thinking about applying, I definitely recommend getting a referring teacher. I would love to be your referring teacher, but if not, you can pick someone you already know because they can really help you create classes and just get through that process. And that brings our video to the end. Again, I hope you found this video just a little bit helpful. If you have any questions, never hesitate to send me an email. My email is down below. I'm always willing to help and answer any questions. And if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!